When we are referring to the county's budget, we are referring to the appropriations which set the expenditure or spending limits. Here are two charts that show the budgeted appropriations for each of the county's 7 programs, the green chart on your left, and each expenditure category, the blue chart on the right. When looking at the green chart on the left side by program, the area in the darker green at the bottom indicates the majority of the appropriations, the budget, for the county is in the community services program. This is consistent with prior year at about 37% of the $10.5 billion budget, approximately $3.8 billion. The community services program administers many of the programs and services on behalf of the state and federal government. These are primarily in the areas of healthcare, behavioral health, benefit and assistance programs, parks, libraries, and child support services. The next largest budget is the infrastructure and environmental resources, which makes up 21% of the budget, approximately $2.2 billion. This budget supports the county. This budget supports county facilities through maintenance and utilities, provides for flood control services and the roadway system in the unincorporated areas. This program also includes the budgets for John Wayne Airport and OC Waste and Recycling. The Public Protection Program is the 3rd largest program and represents about 19% of the budget, approximately $2 billion, and includes many of the county's mandated programs and services. Now, looking at the blue chart on the right side, you can see that the majority, about 30% of the budgeted expenditures, are for salaries and benefits for the 18,505 positions in the county's 22 departments, and approximately 21% is for their services and supplies. The expenditure category, other charges, comprise about 17%, approximately $1.8 billion, and includes the assistance and benefit payments for the residents of Orange County. Whereas property taxes are the majority sources of revenue for discretionary spending, the county also has several major revenue sources that are closely monitored. Here's the breakdown of the major revenue sources for the county. In total, these funding sources amount to $2.8 billion and make up 26% of the total revenue for the county. General purpose revenue is primarily comprised of property taxes, over 92%, shown here on this slide as $1.2 billion, a 4.5% increase over prior year. The forecast for property tax revenue for the budget is developed in collaboration with the assessor, the auditor controller, and the treasurer tax collector departments, and is in line with economic forecasts provided by both UCLA and Chapman University. The forecasting process is repeated or confirmed with the strategic financial plan. As you are all aware, Proposition 13 limits the growth in assessed value to 2% per year. The property tax growth that we have experienced, especially in the last few years, has been due to the resale of property resulting in a new assessed value or due to new inventory coming on the market. Our dedicated or restricted revenues include realignment, which is primarily sales tax based and is restricted to be used for programs and services that were realigned to the county from the state. Proposition 172, public safety sales tax, is funded by half-cent sales tax and the amount the county receives is allocated to the district attorneys and the sheriff's department to fund public safety services. Behavioral Health Services Act, previously known as Mental Health Services Act, is funded through state income taxes and requires a 3-year spending plan. Proposition 1 was voted into law in March of 2024 with significant impacts on this funding source. Implementation of the Behavioral Health Services Act is effective with the beginning of fiscal year 26-27. To conclude my overview, I would like to present this slide, which outlines the historical trend in both filled and vacant positions going back to fiscal year 24-25. As you can see here on this slide, the comparison between the number of filled positions on June 30th, 2025, at the close of fiscal year 24-25, and those reported as of March 31st, 2026, reflects a net decrease of 320 filled positions countywide. If the CEO's recommendations presented today are approved, it would add 3 new positions to John Wayne Airport and bring the workforce to for the county to 18,505 total positions. This concludes my overview of the fiscal year 26-27 recommended budget. Thank you. I will pause here for any questions or comments.
Well, thank you. I appreciate staff's diligence and the way you've broken it out so you understand it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think now we come to public comments. Yes.
Would you be able to explain to the public, I know you mentioned it, the Medi-Cal impacts and the Welfare and Institutions Code indigent care impacts? Can you explain that?
So we're still trying to define those impacts and how they're going to relate to the county. So healthcare agency is still trying to determine those, but we are anticipating that some individuals will lose Medi-Cal coverage beginning with fiscal year 26-27, which would need services through the medical safety net through the county.
Okay, it's my understanding we currently have 20 people that we care for in that program, and it could increase to 200,000. Is that anticipated?
When we get to that program, we can look at that.
My understanding is that those impacts could grow to up to 74,000 individuals, but I will defer to healthcare agency to provide more concise numbers. Thank you.
For the presentation, I would simply state that this is not the final budget. This is where we're taking public input and also board input for any suggested changes to staff. Staff will work those comments and suggestions into a final budget to come back to this board in 2 weeks. Public comments, again, will be allowed when that final budget comes back. With that, I'm going to open the public hearing. Madam Clerk, would you call the first speakers?
I will call 3 names at a time. When your name is called, please come forward and line up in the center of the room behind the podium. Fountain Valley Mayor Jim Coonan, Fountain Valley Councilman Ted Bowie, and former Westminster Councilman Ty Doe.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, esteemed supervisors and county leadership. My name is Jim Coonan, and I currently serve as the Mayor of Fountain Valley, which is located in Supervisorial District 1. We are most fortunate to be represented by Supervisor Janet Nguyen, who for over 2 decades has served our community in so many important ways, including as California Assemblywoman, State Senator, and before returning to county leadership. Supervisor Nguyen has also lived in Fountain Valley and currently resides here in Huntington Beach, so we consider her a neighbor as well. My point is that our supervisor knows Fountain Valley as well as any other elected anywhere. So I'm here to drive home this point, that our first district community was completely left out by convicted felon Andrew Doe, who, by the way, did not live in Fountain Valley. The other Orange County districts have gotten the full benefit of these funds, but our share of the funds has been apparently withheld from us. Thus, I appeal to you this morning, please apply the highest degree of care and
Thank you.
return these funds. Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Good morning, chairs and honorable members of the board. My name is Ted Buoy, and I serve on the Fountain Valley City Council. I'm here this morning on behalf of the city of Fountain Valley and the residents we represent. First, thank you. The work you do is hard and it is often thankless. You carry the needs of millions of residents and you carry them with care. On behalf of our community, we are grateful for your service to Orange County. I'm here to speak about the $3.7 million in restitution recovered from former Supervisor Andrew Doe corruptions, money that has now been returned to this county. I want to be clear about what that money is. It is not just a number. Those dollars were meant to feed our red seniors. They were meant to care for our neighbors living with disabilities. They were meant to care for our neighbors living with disability. They were promised to the families of the first district, to Fountain Valley.
Next speaker, please. Thank you.
How about the next three speakers, so please come forward. Yu Quinn Nguyen, Alan Coy, Pat Bowie, and Mayor Lisa Lando.
Good morning. My name is Ty Doe, and I am a former Westminster City Council at large. I served from 2018 to 2022. Been a police officer for 30 years at the local and now federal levels. It's obvious that I was not a fan of Andrew Doe, who every week on a late night radio talk show attacking me, calling me and Senator General Nguyen as a soba, insect. As a result, during the COVID-19 pandemic, I did not receive any support or resources from the county to help the elderly in Westminster. Senator General Nguyen and I have to ask for donation, chipping our own money to buy 2,000 pound rice and distribute to the elderly during the pandemic. We now know that the federal money earmarked for District 1 was stolen by Andrew Doe. The people in District 1 suffered so much during the COVID because of Andrew Doe and the betrayal that they had to endure during the years of trusting and supporting Andrew Doe.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, my name is Yu Quinn Nguyen. I'm the founder, the president of Union of OC Vietnamese Language School, and I live in Glen Grove. I would like to speak about the $3.7 million that has been recovered from the corruptions case involving former Supervisor Andrew Doe. I understand that the Orange County is considered the victim of case. However, we should also recognize what the actual harm was the most. The money that was lost and which originally allocated to the program serving the residents in District 1. The people in District 1 were the ones who lost services and resources that were intended for their community. The residents of District 1 did nothing wrong. They should not have to suffer the consequences at the second time by losing the opportunity to have these funds restored to the community. This is not about the giving District 1 special treatment. It's about the fairness and restoring what was taken away. When funds intended for the specific community are lost,
Thank you,
the
ma'am.
recovered funds are. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Alan, his father and vice president of the same, but Mr. Nguyễn to talk about it. I would like to talk in Vietnamese so people understand that. Kính thưa cựu chủ tịch và các thành viên Hội đồng Giám sát, tôi xin phát biểu về khoản 3.7 triệu đô la đã được thu hồi từ vụ tham nhũng của cựu Supervisors. Tôi hiểu rằng Orange County là nạn nhân của vụ việc này. Tuy nhiên, điều quan trọng là phải nhìn vào nơi đã chịu thiệt hại trực tiếp. Số tiền bị thất thoát đầu đã được phân bổ cho các chương trình phục vụ cư dân ở District 1. Những người dân trong cái khu vực này đã mất đi những cái dịch vụ và nguồn lực mà họ đáng lẽ phải được hưởng. Người dân District không gây ra sai phạm này, họ không tiếp tục chịu thiệt hại. Số tiền đã được thu hồi lại, không quay trở lại để phục vụ cộng đồng bị ảnh hưởng. Đây không phải là vấn đề ưu tiên District 1 hơn các khu vực khác, mà đây là vấn đề công bằng và khôi phục những gì đã mất đi. Xin được cảm ơn quý vị.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, Chaffee, and Board of Supervisors. My name is Bui. I am the former city councilman of the city of Garden Grove, and I was elected at large. I'm also the chairman of the Vietnamese American Federation of Southern California. I would like to urge the board to retain the $3.7 million of District 1 to District 1. During COVID, each district received the same amount of funds. Unfortunately, the constituents, the residents of District 1 did not receive the fair share of that because of felony convicted former supervisor and widow stole the money from us. This money belongs to the resident of District 1, and I urge you to keep that for District 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll call the next three speakers. If you could please come forward. Mayor Stephanie Klopfenstein, Maggie Lee, and Sherry Friedrich.
Good morning, my name is Lisa Landau, and I'm proud to represent the City of Seal Beach as their mayor, along with Mayor Pro Tem Ben Wong. The City of Seal Beach has been fortunate to receive first district funding support from the county toward our San Gabriel River Trash Mitigation Initiative. Those funds helped advance a feasibility study that is supporting the next phase of efforts to ultimately place a trash interceptor within the river system to help prevent debris from reaching the ocean. We appreciated Supervisor Janet Nguyen representing the County of Orange for ongoing support as we move into the implementation phase. This gets us one step closer to seeing a light at the end of the tunnel with the tremendous amount of trash that ends up in Seal Beach. We are fortunate that we have incredible nonprofits that show up and literally clean house. We appreciate the county's continued investment in first district projects that improve environmental quality, protect our coastline, our seniors, and our families. In closing, I respectfully ask for you to keep the funds in the first district where it rightfully belongs.
Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Mayor of Garden Grove Stephanie Klopfenstein. The City of Garden Grove strongly supports the return of funds allocated during the tenure of former Supervisor Doe to District 1 communities. These are not abstract dollars, they represent real opportunities for residents, families, businesses who rely on county support every day. We ask for a clear and equitable path to recover and reinvest these funds back into the communities that we're intended to serve. Returning these resources is about restoring equity, reaffirming accountability, and rebuilding public confidence in how public decisions are made. These funds are critical to restoring and expanding high-impact programs through District 1. In Garden Grove, one of the largest cities in the district, the need is immediate and visible. Supervisor Nguyen and Board, I ask you to please consider allocating $500,000 that could be used to help our most vulnerable residents impacted during the evacuations and the hazmat incident. We have the infrastructure and systems in place to deploy these dollars in a timely manner. Let's ensure these funds come home to the communities that need them most. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members of the Board of Supervisors. My name is Maggie Lee. I am the City Manager for the City of Fountain Valley. Today, we respectfully ask for your support in reallocating the $3.7 million recovered from the fraudulent activities that should never have occurred. These funds were taken from residents of District 1, and we believe they should be returned to the community from which they came. The reinvestment of these funds would make a meaningful difference, particularly for our youth and seniors. Many of our community parks lack basic amenities such as restroom, picnic shade structure, benches, and outdoor fitness equipment. The reallocation of these funds resources would provide an important opportunity for the county and District 1 Supervisor Janet Nguyen in addressing these critical community needs. By investing in park improvement and recreation amenities, we can enhance health, wellness, and quality of life of residents for all ages while creating spaces that encourage community engagement and active living. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I invite the next three speakers to please come forward. Nathan Steele, Dr. Stephen Bean, and Janelle Atienza.
Honorable Chair Chafee, Vice Chair Foley, and members of the board. My name is Sherry Friedrich, the duly elected Treasurer Tax Collector of the County of Orange. I appear today pursuant to Government Code Section 29082 regarding the proposed fiscal year 26-27 budget for my office, and appreciate the board giving me the full 3 minutes to speak as a department head as allowed under the law. The CEO's recommended budget reduces TTC staffing by 15 positions out of 78 positions when compared to last June's budgeted staffing level and the staffing requested by my office for this next fiscal year. This represents an approximate 20% reduction in personnel through position elimination and transfers in addition to any hiring restrictions. I want to be clear for the record. In my professional judgment as the elected official charged by California law with core services of safeguarding, managing, collecting, accounting for, and dispersing every single dollar of the billions of dollars in public funds in this budget, these reductions will materially impact my ability
Thank
to
you,
fully
Richard. Your
perform
time is
the
up.
statutory core duties of my job. I would like to ask for the 3 minutes as allowed by state law for
That's
department head
not
to speak
state
on their
law.
budget.
Thank you.
I
Supervisor
respectfully
Wagner, did you
request
have a
that,
comment?
I'm
I was just gonna
disappointed.
move the order today.
Good.
I will provide them in writing.
All of the.
Thank you. All right, next speaker, please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name is Nathan Steele, Seal Beach City Council, and I'm rising in support of the request we're making about the funds that were taken from District 1, that they be replaced to District 1. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So this is what it feels like to go. Thank you. All right, Chair and members of the board, thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Dr. Stephen Bean, the elected Orange County Superintendent of Schools. I'm here to support the OC GRIP and the students that it serves across our Orange County. Programs like OC GRIP provide mentoring, family engagement, and early intervention for young people who may be struggling with attendance, academics, behavior, and challenges outside of school. The goal is simple: connect students with support before problems become crises. I have seen firsthand the positive impact this program has had on students and families. Those relationships, built over time through trust and consistency, are incredibly valuable. As you consider future funding decisions, I respectfully encourage you to recognize both the impact of this work and the importance of minimizing disruption to students, families, and schools should changes become necessary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to invite the next three speakers. Please come forward. Councilwoman Cindy Tran, Christine Fleming, and Sonia Green.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Janelle Atienza. I'm a field representative for Assemblymember Diane Dixon. Since the Assemblymember is in Sacramento, I've been sent here to share the following statement on her behalf. Nearly 50% of my district, Assembly District 72, is in District 1. I strongly support returning the recovered funds to the first district. This misuse of taxpayer funds has long-lasting effects on the prosperity and well-being of the district. Even though Andrew Doe is serving time in prison, the residents are also being punished. This lack of funds means they are unable to receive the support they deserve. These were the actions of a corrupt politician who chose to put their interests above their constituents. The responsibility to mindfully steward resources and prioritize the health and growth of communities was woefully cast aside. The people of Assembly District 72 and all of Orange County deserve more from their elected officials. Please restore justice by returning the funds to serve its intended purpose, improving the lives of the people in Orange County's first district. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning to everyone out here. This is Christine Fleming with California Family Law Naked Truth. Regarding budgets, contracts, and federal funds, I want to make it clear that the people are watching. Dawn, Katrina, Doug, Vincent, and Janet. The people are watching you. We know what you've been doing, and just want to put it on notice. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sonia Green. There's 23,000 citizens of California that are concerned about fraud in the court system. This individual in particular, Brian Barron, seems to be systematically appointed on all guardianship and minor counsel cases and dictates outcomes without actually doing any of the work. He has a $12 million contract through the Office of LaFlamme. LaFlamme had the contract for years before he passed. He was also an arms dealer before he became an attorney. The fact that he knows that the contract and he will be assigned on these cases without question leaves him in a position.
I'm sorry, is this part of the budget discussion?
It does have to do with budget, so if I can continue, I appreciate it. I reclaim my time. Leaves him in a position where he answers to no one and does not have to be accountable. I'm aware that an individual attempted to obtain a copy of the contract with California Public Record, also known as CPRA, and was told that it would cost $132,000. Why? Thank you.
I can invite the next three speakers, please come forward. Esther Rodriguez, April H., and Lynn E.
Good morning, the Honorable Chair and Member of the Board. My name is Cindy Trin, and Go Council Member. Supervisor Foley, I first met you at the Library 4, represented by Garden Grove City. We had many conversations about the community. Supervisor Wagner, thank you for your support to the military veteran cemetery in OC and support to the Board of Angel Fort, raising awareness for military suicide. I'm a veteran. Supervisor Sarmiento, every event that you invite me as a council member or a Santa Ana mayor, I always there to support you. And I embrace that relationship. Today I'm here with the community, asking all of you for your fairness. The money will allocate to District 1, 3.7 mil. It's up to you have a budget to spend for your constituent, but not the District 1. You have ought to recollect the money because it was stolen. And it would be not good if the money is taken away from us again. We make it right. After today's vote, you will be proud that you put the money back where it was belong. Thank you.
Aloha, my name is April Hom, a resident of Wenham Park, and I'm here to support California Family Law Naked Truth. Given the size and significance of child welfare services with the county, provide specific public reporting showing child welfare revenues, expenditures, and staffing rather than consolidating them within border of social service reporting. How does the county believe that the level of consolidation promotes accountability and transparency? County of Orange's annual financial consolidates SSA's revenues, expenditures, and staffing. What opportunities does the county provide to help children from lower income families assess the type of education and extracurricular opportunities available to higher income families? How does social service programs are improving children's opportunities and long-term success? Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lynette Gorgon. This is in regard to the single audit reports for the past 4 years. In 2025, Orange County received a qualified opinion on how Title IV federal funding from the Social Security Act was being documented. And then in 2025, it received that the single audit report and the way that Title IV funds were being utilized had been documented appropriately, but there's no transparency on how that occurred. This goes for roughly around $165 million in Title IV funds that are being used in child welfare, which indirectly impacts Medicaid and Medi-Cal. So if we're having an impact on Medicaid and Medi-Cal, the individuals in child welfare are going to double dip into Medicaid, the sub-recipients. And this is in affiliation with California Family Law Naked Truth.
Thank you.
I can invite the next three speakers, please come forward. Colleen Jansen, John Villa, and Casey McKeon.
My name is Colleen Jansen. I'm from Cyprus. First, I'd like to extend to the Honorable Chair and members of the Board of Supervisors a thank you for the opportunity to speak, and also to the people who worked really hard to put together a budget. I worked for a government agency and I know how hard that is. I'm a victim of a crime, and so are all my neighbors and friends. Andrew Doe stole from us. I found out that some of the money has been recovered, but there's people who want to redirect the funds to purposes other than restoring it to District 1. I feel it's inappropriate, and it's sad to think that that would happen. Integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. When voters and residents see something like this happening right in front of their eyes, they wonder what's happening when no one is watching. Please do the right thing for District 1 today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Casey McKeon. I am the mayor of Huntington Beach, and I'm talking today to talk about the money that Andrew Doe specifically stole from the District 1 residents, that $3.7 million. We all pay a lot of taxes in life. If you think about it, one of the biggest taxes we pay is our property tax, as we saw in the budget. That flows to the county and then the cities. People have gotten accustomed to paying that property tax because they want a piece of the American dream. They want to own a piece of the greatest country the world has ever seen, which created the greatest standard of living the world has ever seen. And that standard of living is paid through our property taxes that flows back to the city to pay for our seniors, children, our infrastructure, our resources. Much needed tax dollars that rightfully belong to District 1. So I please implore you to not steal our American dream. Don't let Andrew Doe steal our American dream, and bring that $3.7 million back to District 1 where it belongs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I invite the next three speakers, please come forward. Butch Twinney, Lynette Forgerbon, and Lon Suki.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is John Villa. I'm the Executive Director for the Huntington Beach Wetlands Conservancy. We're actually a nonprofit that owns 190 acres in southeast Huntington Beach. I'm here to speak about the $3.7 million that unfortunately never made it to the constituents, the residents, the businesses of District 1. We've already seen these funds misappropriated, used in other means. We'd like to not see that happen again. Please do what you can do to bring those funds back to District 1. Thank you.
Honorable Doug J.B. and the rest of the supervisors, thank you for having us. The fact that we're even having this discussion defies common sense and logic. Other districts vying for the first district's funds, which are rightfully the first district's, is crazy. Your respective districts have already received 100% of your funding. The money is for our kids, our seniors, our veterans, to aid in providing help to our homeless and underserved communities, our public safety, just to mention a few of these who will benefit from these funds. One of the board's core values is stewardship. The definition of stewardship is careful, responsible, and ethical management of something entrusted to one's care. Be ethical, return that money to the first district. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think we've had any discussion about where the money should go. I'm not sure what their comments relate to. No one has weighed in on this yet.
It is part of the budget, and when it comes to that
But we haven't
item, we can
discussed it.
make a recommendation.
Yeah, we haven't discussed it.
There will be opportunity. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, my name is Lori Swecki and I'm a resident of Huntington Beach. And I was asked to come here today to request the board to return the stolen funds to the first district. And please don't steal these funds twice. Thank you.
All right, the next three speakers, Nick Massetti, Letty Guerrero, and Eric Jimenez.
I'm Nick Massetti, Seal Beach, California. I'm Nick Massetti, President of the Leisure World Cares Fund, based in the senior living community of Leisure World Seal Beach. I'm here to encourage you to return the funds recovered from the Doe fraud scandal to the First District Discretionary Fund. There, in part, they may be used towards First District priorities like homeless prevention among the district's senior residential owners. Leisure World Cares Fund is a California corporation charity formed to serve the Leisure World community, which serves 6,608 senior owner-occupied households. The purpose of the fund is to prevent aging homeowners in their Leisure World Seal Beach community from being forced to abandon their homes for lack of financial ability to pay for their housing fees. Thank you for the opportunity.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman Chafee and members of the board. My name is Letty Guerrero. I'm a proud investigator of the Public Defender Office, and I'm the president of OCEA. Today I'm here on behalf of more than 10,000 county OCEA members across over 600 classifications. They are the backbone of public service in Orange County, and they are sending a clear message. Respect our work and recognize today's reality. Our members need a new MOU that delivers real progress on 4 urgent issues: wages, work-life flexibility, position vacancies, and impacts of technology. Today matters. You are discussing both the budget and negotiations. Our members have spoke. our proposal reflects exactly what they told us. Today, we also have done homework. The county has resources to invest in its workforce. The facts are simple. The county has money. County reserves projected to be $204 million above the target this June. Since 2019, reserves have grown by more than $250 million.
Thank you.